What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your Warder, Dimitri Shrine, and today we are going to be looking at the Zenkai Super Vegeta. Right, because Super Saiyans is something I really want to be able to see more in PvP. I fucking love that team. His info is in-game, so we're going to go ahead, boost him up 14 stars, Zenkai 7. We're looking at 2.8 million health, actually a lot of health. 246,000 strike, 278,000 blast, 175,000 strike defense, 186,000 blast defense. Those stats are fucking low as shit, and as they were going to be because he has a Super Saiyan tag, and because Bardock's swap out buffs force Bandai's hand. Yeah, this is how they're gonna look. His stats, his health is very good. He might actually be able to be a bit tanky. On the blast side, he can be a bit tanky. He's got a lot of health, pretty decent defenses, but he's not going to be very good at the whole ranged thing. Well, that's to be seen. Let's go ahead and go through his kit. All right, Final Flash, major impact damage, okay? Inflicts enemy attribute downgrade plus 30% to blast damage received for 20 timer counts. Green card, did that change at all? Hold on. Did that change at all? 15% blast damage, 15 counts, minus 5 to blast arts cost for 10 counts. All right, and now it's 20% for 15 counts. Wow, that green card got some buff. Blue card, I mean, technically it's a blue card. Ultimate, deals massive impact damage, plus 50% to own key recovery for 15 timer counts, afflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, minus 2 to arts card draw speed for 15 timer counts. That is gonna be annoying. However, it's just one enemy. So it's like you can just swap out, and realistically, when it comes to ultimates, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't actually like ultimates that have attribute downgrades instead of just like buffs. Like I would rather my ultimate buff me than try and debuff my opponent, because the whole point of using the ultimate is to kill the unit, right? You're not gonna pop the ult when they're at full health unless you honestly think they're going to, die from full health. I mean, yeah, if the unit swaps in and they can't swap out, if a new unit swaps in on the ult and they can't swap out, then this is going to be annoying as hell, but I don't know. I would rather have the ultimate buff up the unit. Main ability, draw the ultimate arts card next, restore key by 20, gives you just enough to use the ult, alright. Plus 50% to ultimate damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Why doesn't he just, whatever. Reduce damage received by 20% for 15 timer counts. I don't know why I can't speak today. He does do Yellow Saiyan, so we finally have a Yellow Saiyan Zenkai buffer. That's one thing. Blast damage inflicted increases according to the number of timer counts elapsed with current character up to 80%. 3, 40, 6, 60, and 10, 80. So by the time you're ready to swap this guy out, he's fully built up. By the time you're trying to switch back into Bardock, and, re-up those crit buffs, is when he decides he wants to start doing real damage. Got it. All right, to hell with you. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% to blast damage received for 15 timer counts. Seems fine. He's going to be doing some decent blast damage. While this character is on the battlefield, applies the following effects itself when the enemy switches characters. Restore key by 30. Reduce damage received by 30% for 10 timer counts. Cannot be stacked. Restore vanishing gauge by 100% activates once. And then those all reset. So he can actually get his vanish back the first time someone swaps out, every single time he enters the battlefield. So that's actually, that's pretty good. It's not like, none of this is like game breaking or anything, but it seems good. If you get caught in a combo and your opponent switches, he's going to be taking less damage, so it's alright. Applies the following effects itself when this character enters the battlefield. Restore health by 10%, restore ki by 40, 30% to damage inflicted, 60% to strike damage inflicted. Interesting. So he's got this buff up here that gives him 80% blast damage if you leave him in for 10 fucking counts. Then he makes the enemy take more blast damage. But then you give him a strike damage buff. And his strike stat is just bad. Like, there are normal units, not even Zenkai, just normal units that have higher strike attack than him, even with the ranged type distinction. So, what the fuck is he get? Like 60%? I don't even think that's enough. He needs to be doing like 260% strike attack. Yeah, this Vegeta, I'm not going to lie, this Vegeta doesn't look all that impressive, which makes sense because, again, Super Saiyan tag, they can't make him that good. But this guy is definitely, like, it makes sense. He actually buffs the Super Saiyan tag with his Z ability. So it makes sense that they would make him super dependent on Bardock, but this guy is uber dependent on Bardock. This guy, I don't think he's going to perform well at all without Bardock. Like, at least with the other Zenkais, like, you know, like you can get some value out of them when they're not with Bardock. This guy, I genuinely don't think you would get any value out of this guy on like a Saiyan team. Like, Caulifla and Kale are probably better than the Zenkai Vegeta on their own. But of course, they had to make him around Bardock, so Bardock screws yet another Super Saiyan unit. He, honestly, the only reason I would say to Zenkai this unit is if you run Super Saiyans. That is the only reason. This guy is completely useless to you unless you run Super Saiyans. So that's how I feel about it. We will be back later for the free-to-play support Kid Buu.